This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to Lewis Black's Rantcast 122, aptly entitled March Madness. And speaking of madness, the rubber chicken who many of you have grown to love and many of you have grown to hate is once again not with us. Rumor has it he is gone to watch the West region playing out there. The NCAA basketball tournament is. They've got a group that plays out west. He's apparently out there. That's what I've heard. He was, of course, in that cave or whatever that Aaron Rodgers went into. He followed him out there to go into darkness, but apparently he was there so long he may have even gone blind. That was one rumor, but I think something that is closer to the truth from a source that I rely on says that he's actually gone to the NCAA tournament out there and is apparently announcing for the Rubber Chicken Network. There's so many streaming platforms now that even the Rubber Chickens have gotten together to follow the sport, and he'll be announcing for them. And apparently, I guess, will be, maybe working at the Rubber Chicken Network and just leaving to be amongst his other Rubber Chicken friends, and probably got a better deal than I could offer. But I wish him nothing but the best. Who knows? He may be back. I have not heard a lot of complaints by people saying, where's the Rubber Chicken? Bring him back. He was so near to and dear to me. But and so that's and I've written him some emails about this and have not heard back. I've said, if you want to maintain your audience, you better get back. They've already forgotten you. But it doesn't matter. He's pissed and he is mad. And but I am thrilled. Meanwhile, that it is the time in which the NCAAs are being played, because this to me is the greatest time for me in terms of sports. The Super Bowl, fuck the Super Bowl compared to this. Week after week, 63 games. There actually now there are 4 more play-in games for teams that they weren't sure, and they'll probably expand it. The tournament next year. And I'm not one of those who, maybe some in order to help the mid-major conferences out. And I think, maybe another 10 slots or whatever for them. There's some teams that at least deserve to play in like that, not just those 4 games. We'll see. Because it doesn't matter because they have as many as they want. I just think it's phenomenal. And we are reaching a parity. So that these games, the games that I watched this year were spectacular, and there were some phenomenal finishes, some which broke my heart. Michigan State, who I happen to be a fan of because of Tom Izzo, the coach, they ahead by like 28, 29 points against Iowa State. I can't, and I think it was Iowa, and they lost. It was. In the second half, it was crazy, absolutely crazy, and I expect to see much of that in this tournament, which is just it just is utterly satisfying, and I became addicted to this to college basketball when I went to the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And they, of course, will not be in the fucking tournament this year. Why? Because they weren't that good and don't deserve to be in it. And the last time they have not been in that tournament was 2010. And every year that I was there, they got to the final at least once that I remember. And they got to the Final Four twice that I know of when I was there. They didn't win it, but they've won it already. And that always, to me, when Michael Jordan was there, they won. And they've won since. And there's a certain satisfaction I get from that, as if, it's like having a really great, extraordinary full meal. Would you like dessert? No, I don't need dessert. And I'd love to see us win again. Don't get me wrong. And I wish they'd won last year. But what they did last year was unbelievable. They made a run at the thing, and they had not been playing well all year. This year, they blew up. Never were able to make it, and I can live with that because I will be turning on the TV tonight. There's some games on. So the play-in games, as they call them. So I could not be happier. And that is really strange for me to say. It's nothing I think I've ever said on the Rantcast. I don't know if I've used the word happy, except in reference to others who are truly happy because I am so sad. Oh yes, oh yeah, Lewis believes that, but by God, and he really wants this, but he's not going to get it, and so we are happy that whatever the other side might be at whatever point in time, and that other side changes from time to time, but happy is not the word that I throw about lightly. But by God, I will say to you that I once one of the memorable March Madnesses that I lived through was I was doing a show down at a club. I was going down to El Paso, Texas, performing at a club. I'd never been there. And they had a house they put us up in, the comedians. And normally we would have condos. And the house that I was at in El Paso, I got there. I'd flown in that day, so I was kind of tired, but I laid down on the couch in the living room, and I was the only one around as far as I knew. And I turned the TV on and was watching the game and fell asleep and was awoken by the opening act who said, "Could you, I think you ought to know that there's a scorpion in the toilet." And I said, I don't think I need to know that. That's not something I wanted to know. It's not something I wanted to hear about. I could not fucking believe there was a scorpion in the toilet. It was dead. And I just turned to the opening act. I said, I've never seen one of those little fuckers before, but I have a feeling if there's one of them here, there's more of them here. And so I hate to do this, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. Called the comedy club, said, is there a hotel, motel there where the club is? And there was one right next door. And I said, I'm getting out of here. Oh, why? It's so nice. And I said, it is very nice, except there's a scorpion in the toilet. So, you're in, El Paso and we have scorpions. Well, I'm going to bank that at the motel, there aren't scorpions. So I'm coming over there. And I did. I fled there. And we'll never forget it. It was really the idea of sitting on a toilet and having that stinger go right into your hoo-ha. No. So, and speaking of comedy, this is actually from my pal Kathleen Madigan. This is the Harbor Inn, Cleveland, Ohio, USA, and it's down at a place called the Flats there, and where I performed at the way back at the Improv, and they put us up in a comedy condo there, and the Harbor Inn was in the building that the condo was in, as I remember it. It's been a long time ago, but it was right in the building, and it's just a great bar. It was one of those places that just do the shows and walk on back to the condo and just be able to go in there and have some drinks and some more drinks and some more drinks and some more drinks and some more drinks and a few more drinks. And it just one of those great bars to hang out in. I guess, and it's still there. I'm not guessing, it is still there. But what I was guessing is that they may call it a dive bar. And that's such an idiotic word for a bar that makes you completely comfortable at any time of the night or day. That's what, to me, a dive bar is. And I've been to a few hundred of those in my life. This is a great one. If you're in Cleveland, the Harbor Inn. Mm-hmm. You'll enjoy it. My friend Kathleen gave me this shirt. I think I said that. And I wish I was there to watch the games, but nope. I won't be there. But it stays in my heart. You could also call this month March Madness because Two banks went belly up. That's right. Dude, just boom. Smashola, Didn't figure it out. The Silicon Valley Bank, first one to go, followed by Signature. And apparently they had some problems with math. They made some choices that were wrong. And so there was a run on the banks, and the president came out and said, "Don't worry about a thing. Everybody's going to get money back. Everything's fine." And it's let's just hope that there isn't a run on the bank. It isn't truly March Madness. That would be March insanity. That would not be good. And so once again, they have to go through all the things they did that they fucked up, in terms of their regulations. Because for the big banks, there's a certain kind of regulations. For the smaller banks like SVP, the Silicon Valley, the SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank, there is different kinds of regulations because it's a smaller bank. But however, these banks like Signature, when they dealt with the businesses, you're only supposed to be able to, in these banks, have $250,000. But for the business, they let them kind of go over that number. And so there was a lot of that there. And a lot of it was payroll. And I just hope that they get this all squared away. They say there's not going to be a problem because the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, something that you all see when you go to the bank, and you don't worry, we're gonna take care of this. You don't have to worry about a thing. So those old Federal Deposit folks, it will cover this, and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the money for that comes from the banks. And where does the bank get the money? And where will they get it after they pay off all this? Where will that money come from? It'll come from the banks again. And what will the banks do? They'll jack up the fees that we pay in order to fill that fucking coffers of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is where the money came from in the first place, from those fucking fees. Fuck them. Banks. Fucking unbelievable that they do that. They should not, there's got to be like no, you can't. You cannot charge above X. What does it take? All right. And especially now that you got computers and you don't have Bob Cratchit back there, if that's what he used to do. I can't remember what his job was, but sitting there fucking with a tally of numbers, adding them up. You got a computer, you got all this shit. My brother worked for Lloyd's Bank of London, and one of the great discoveries Ron made early on that he told me and shocked him, and then of course shocked me, was that he discovered that he said, "Well, how much money do we have in the bank here?" And the banker, the vice president, the president of the bank said, "Well, you never really know." And I was like, he was stunned. I was stunned. And I guess the good people who had their money in the Silicon Valley Bank were a little stunned to find out that they didn't, whatever money they had there was certainly not enough. It's unbelievable to me. And they never know. Oh, that money's fluid, all right. And it's just once again that catastrophe on one level or another befalls, and then we go, oh, maybe we should have been doing it this way. You just can't trust people you just can't. It's not a matter of just stop with this. Regulation is no. You can't trust people to fucking be adults. You can't trust people to be intelligent enough to do the job that they were supposed to do. Everybody fucking knows that. But they don't act on it. They fear regulation. And too much regulation is crazy, but it doesn't have to be too much regulation. All right? That's why we have conservatives and we have liberals. All right? And that what's always funny is the liberals seem more for regulation than the conservatives. And that's something that we'll have to save for another time, because that's kind of stunning. I hadn't thought of that. And just in the midst right now, I've had that revelation. And it is odd that the liberal would be the one who would be the one who would want more regulation. But then, and the liberal would like more government in order to help the people. The conservative, no, not enough. They don't want government. So something to think about, really, during half times of the games when there isn't much entertainment on, and you've got two guys who shouldn't be discussing the game. And speaking of that, good luck with those listening to the announcers who are going to be announcing those games, because they've really have run out of truly good announcers. And those of you who don't even know the game of basketball could certainly be as good as a number of the people who you'll be listening to. They are going to drive you insane. That ball, what they need is some more balls going in the basket. Okay, good. Glad you told me. I don't know why the guys who were doing college, maybe they hired the guys who were doing college basketball now. Maybe they're former weathermen who are such a joy to listen to too, as they, inevitably don't get the predictions correct. Why? Because they're not meteorologists. They're just folks reading off of a screen in front of a teleprompter, much like I do for the Daily Show. And but I'm not giving you the weather. I'm just blowing off some steam. So the weather in California is psychotic. Has reached, epically psychotic. Looking at the amount of snow that was out in the Sierras, and I've been in the Sierra in a snowstorm, and I'm sounding like Kit Carson or something. Yeah, I was out there in the snow in 47, but we drove up the hill a couple of times in the snow. With David Tell and I don't know if Mitch was in the car that day. I don't think so. It was Dave and I were heading up the hill to do a show, and had to get the snow tires and get the chains onto the tires, and it was freakish at best, but it was nothing compared to what has been out there. And then water coming, and then flooding, and then whatever they call that, the highway, the fucking airflow, the flooding highway that comes in, and it is flooding through it's biblical, it's literally, and then God said to Moses, you're going to see more snow than you ever fucking thought of, okay? And I don't care if it's a desert. We're going to fucking whoop your ass. You people have been cray-cray, and we are tired of it. That's kind of what it's like. It's like another book of the Bible called California. And of course, and I'm surprised, and I'm sure many have said, there'll be many preachers saying, well, that's the reason why God decided that he wanted to smoke them for the evil that they do there. They are too liberal, and they're liberal and believe in regulation, and it just makes me sick. And it makes God sick too. He doesn't want anything regulated. He just wants you to be regular, which is why you should okay, shut up, Lewis. On a different subject whatsoever, the Kanye West lost, of course, his contract with Adidas due to some of this stuff that he was spewing, a bit of anti-Semitism there, and Yeezy, as he likes to call himself now, because really Kanye was not why would you want to be called Kanye when you could be called Yeezy? So Yeezy has, because he's been fired, because Yeezy has been fired, Adidas is now left with $1.2 billion worth of his sneakers. I don't know maybe there'll be a Yeezy bailout for Adidas, or maybe they should give the shoes to the bank, and the bank can sell the shoes for like half price to raise the money for to pay back the folks who put money in their bank. Maybe that's the way to do it. Get Yeezy shoes. Get Yeezy shoes, and that is because $1.2 billion. Jesus, who'd have thought? Well, we're going to sell 1.2 billion of them, and you could certainly, I think, sell them overseas. I don't know if they're really going to notice, but what do I know? Just a few more things here to wrap up. Some interesting things to note. So Desantis uh, punished Disney, as you remember, for criticizing his "Don't Say Gay" law, and so last week he appointed a board of far right ideologues to oversee the special district for Disney's Orlando theme park. It used to be Disney oversaw it by themselves. Now it was taken away and handed to people like the following: a conservative Christian minister, Ron Perry, who claims that estrogen in the water from birth control pills is turning men gay. Estrogen from the water in birth control pills is turning men gay. That's the whole reason that there's gay men, is because they were drinking it, even though all the people, all of the gay guys I went to school with, and all of the lesbians that I went to school with, it was just recently that they turned gay for another reason, and I'm sure that I wanted to hear Ron's explanation for that, because they were gay way before there was a birth control pill. You fucking idiot! Unbelievable. And God, I can't even read. All right, I can't look at that anymore. And you should also, before I go, I think you want to hear that. California's Culver City High School is eliminating honors English courses because they don't attract enough Hispanic students. You can't. No, it's not the way you educate. It's not the reason you have advanced placement courses. Look, I didn't take honors English courses in high school. They didn't offer them. I did take one in college, and it was fucking hard as hell. And if I'd known that, I'd have said, fuck this. But it's really kind of helped me learn how to write. And I'm sure that there are a lot of Hispanic students who want to be in those honors courses. So to take them away is ludicrous. And the district officials said they felt obligated to do something about low Hispanic representation in the AP classes. Like I said, it's AP. Parent Pedro Frigola, who was born in Cuba, was among the frustrated parents who said high-achieving kids are penalized to achieve equal outcomes for everyone. And that's the truth. It's not a shame. I mean, high-achieving kids shouldn't have to fight for an education. And kids who are not achieving as much shouldn't have to fight for a great education and shouldn't be pushed. And that the reason you have that advanced class out there is to hopefully get kids to go, boy, I want to do that, especially if you have a great teacher teaching that advanced placement course. Son of a bitch. And so it's time to wrap it up. This week, you're going to be hearing rants recorded in February. What's the date? 24th of 2017, coming from a performance I did in the great city of Baltimore, where I will be returning on April 2nd to the Hippodrome. So I got that little plug in. Also, when you see this by next week, I will be performing on next Friday. I believe it's next Friday is the 24th, Saturday the 25th in Skokie, the 26th. I will be in Nashville, Indiana. So come join me there. Thanks for joining me here today. I had a better time than I expected, since I have something that could be a head cold or it could be sinuses. Who knows what it is? Because the weather has been such a delight here as it goes. Oh, it's 50, now it's 40, now it's 30, now it's cold, now it's rainy, shitty, rain, shit, rain, doggy shit, rain, shit, shit. Whatever it was, or it could just be, and I'm not really kidding, the cloud from East Palestine just kind of rolling through New York. And because my friend Kathleen, who was here doing some promo stuff, said that she had been having some some issues too, that she found herself to be allergic to something. Unbelievable. So even though it wasn't with you, I felt I was with you in spirit. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for always joining me here, those of you who do, and for taking the time to spend time with me. I love spending time with you. And take care of each other, okay? We're coming live from Baltimore, Maryland, the Hippodrome Theater. We're on the stage of the Hippodrome. The Hippodrome apparently was built in 1915 as a vaudeville house, and it is a truly magnificent space, and it's a pleasure to be here, and especially... And if you've not visited Baltimore or the state of Maryland, let me just say, go fuck yourself, okay? I'm originally from Silver Spring, Maryland. I spent a ton of time in Baltimore. I mean, it's one of the places you got to go. You know, you go down, you spend a couple of days in D.C. if you want. And then and get a sense of what the fuck I had as a child. If you've never been to Washington D.C., you could fucking go there, and I mean it, because the only way you get any goddamn real sense, you can read all the books you want, you can look at all the shit you want, but the fact of the matter is from childhood that I'm brought down there, and these are monuments to these extraordinary men who had all of the, now we know he was a piece of shit and he used to fuck a dog. Okay. But at the time. But you get a sense of the gravity, of the grandeur, of the importance of our government. Not this, we're going to deconstruct and then we're going to stick a thing here and then I got something to put up your ass, okay? All right? It's a constitution. It's a living and breathing constitution. And that it is something you can get a sense of by going there. And then you get that and you go, wow, this is really extraordinary. I'm going to have to get drunk. You roll up the highway and you come to Baltimore, Maryland. Greatest fucking crabs in the world. And the greatest crab cakes you can possibly find. And not with your fucking little bread shit. Fuck you. Oh, this is a crab cake. Kiss my dick. You don't know what a crab cake is. It's crab. It's crab, asshole. It's not pizza dough and crab, okay? Especially those who live in and around, like if you're like 120 miles from Baltimore, Maryland, and you have children, this is a fucking town you come to, okay? And the reason you come here is because you've got to, first off, it gets you out of the fucking house and gets them moving the fuck around. You come here for 2 days, all right? During that 2 days, you can see a baseball game. You can see a baseball game at a price that people from New York, families of 4, fucking get on a train, come here, watch a game, sometimes stay over, then go fucking back to New York, and it's cheaper than seeing a game at Yankee Stadium. And if you are a Yankee fan, you're going to want to come down here. Did I say that? No. I can handle this fucking thing, okay? They know you're from Baltimore. Wait until I finish it. What I'm just going to say right now is really going to piss you the fuck off. Did I say that I'm an Oriole fan, fucklick? I didn't move to New York and go, oh boy, then fuck that. No. And I'm not a Nationals fan. Why? Because they took... Stop! Just shut the fuck up. They don't... Don't be an idiot. Don't be a fucking idiot. They don't suck. Get a fucking grip on it. Jesus Christ. They have a bullpen, asshole. Okay? They're not relying on our fucking brilliant manager to go, well, who the fuck am I going to get today? Maybe I should put some aluminum foil on his head and he'll pitch better. Sorry. I spent the whole season watching last year. Fuck you. Can't spend money to get a staff? Fucking A. And every goddamn year, the New York Post is going to come out with this thing, and they do it all the time. And it's who gets, the Yankees get a B, and then this team, Boston Red Sox, get an A+ because they fucking spent $1 gazillion. They bought ponies for everybody's children. And what about Baltimore? Well, they were able to return some empties, and with the 47 cents, apparently they're going to be able to buy another baseball. So, I digress. The Yankees, for those of you who are New York Yankee fans, come down here. Because what you're going to want to watch is the guys that you're going to be signing. And they are. And why? Because we're not going to do it. And you fucking know it. And it pains me every fucking day. That's why I couldn't live here. I'd just be walking the streets weeping. So I got to get to this stuff. I'm fucking, now you see what you did. So we have, so you come, you go to a game, you take the kids over to the aquarium and the harbor there, an extraordinary aquarium. I know that some of you think, well, they're in prison. They're all in prison. Okay. For those of you who are over that hump, it's not Sea fucking World. They're not there, choking a pigeon to see its reaction. You take a child there to give a child, especially a landlocked child, a sense of what's out there in the water. And it's an extraordinary. It only costs, I think, it probably costs less to go to the ball game, really. I'll fucking bet. And then around the corner from there is you also want to go to see the American Museum of Visionary Art, which is one of the great museums in this country, especially for children to go to. The initial museum I think a child should see is that museum, as opposed to taking him in and going, here's Monet and here's Bobo de la Scanza. No. You give him a sense. It's basically of self-made artists, of artists who did it all on their own. And it gives a child a sense of really where art comes from in its initial, and where it comes from initially, and what spawns it. And it's really an extraordinary.
Lou.
Yeah.
Tell him what you're going to do if Machado ends up on the Yankees.
You know what's going to happen. I'm going to put on a dog outfit, and every game I'm going to run out there and bite him. John's a Detroit Tiger fan, and no, please, you really booing
the
them?
0-1 Detroit Tigers.
Yeah. We crushed them today. The Orioles just crushed them today. Yeah. I would be much happier if Manny went to Detroit, to be honest, than the Yankees. That's just more than I can fucking bear.
That's just mean.
Well, you might get him. If you guys spend money. Look at all the shit you bought. So, this was from last night, but I just thought it was great. This is a question from Charlottesville, which is a great question. What is the ratio of yoga shops to Confederate statues needed before a southern town can call itself progressive? You need 3 more vegan restaurants. This, I believe, is the reason, the depth of our problem. I think that both sides, where all of this kind of rage is coming from, is not really, the rage comes not from, oh, I really want that badly or that badly. I think that the level of the anger comes from this. This, I believe, everyone carries around in their head at some point or another during the day, and it's what fuels that when people finally snap. And I received this in Long Island. Long Island, you have to realize, is probably it's where bitterness gravitates to. And this guy just watched this. He sent this in while, I believe, watching a rant of mine while I was on stage, and there was a guy sitting behind me that a lot of people got upset about because you could see him and he was just kind of, didn't look engaged at all. And he wrote the following, this is where rage comes from. Dear God, that gum-chewing fat fucktard in the front row of your Westbury, Long Island show is the reason why I never go to live shows anymore. What a slack-jaw, potato-dick Neanderthal. That is all. Thank you. As a Canadian, I have a Canadian audience. They watch. As a Canadian, can I please get an American explain to me why U.S. presidential election campaigns are 18-plus months long? 18-plus months long. Anyone who want to stand up and look at the fucking camera and fucking explain it? The average federal election campaign here in Canada is less than 2 months by comparison. 2 months, and they came up with a cute little guy. Who everybody likes. Everybody likes him. I don't know how you guys stand it. We don't fucking stand it! I get tired of it after a few months just watching from the periphery, let alone if I felt the need to pay attention to everything as an informed voter. You have to realize we're not informed voters. They didn't discuss anything. What you missed was the fact that there was not one issue discussed. Not a goddamn fucking thing. He did this and she's a snotty and furry pump. That was the whole debate. Quack, quack, Hong Kong. Quack, quack, Hong Kong. I'm a goose, I'm a duck. I'm a goose, I'm a duck. Do senators or congressmen spend anywhere near as long campaigning? They never stop. They never fucking stop. That is all we do here. There's an election and then it just starts again. All we do. Then they raise money so that, and then they continue. They just run continually. We have no one who, just on a rare occasion, who actually really doesn't put that kind of time into it. They all fucking do, and it's a waste of energy, effort, time. It's a waste of focus. It's a group of people who's supposed to actually go there and do shit, and and they have a staff and stuff, and the staff's supposed to, and then they're supposed to sit down with other people and fucking do things. But no, I got to go now because I got to go raise. I'm having a fucking big pancake supper down at the fucking VFW. No shit, no fuck shit, no shit. Rather than doing what the gig is you do the gig. And then when the gig is done, you'd go to the people and go, see what I did? And then they vote. And then you go, well, fuck, that's what I did. That's what it comes to. Not I'm going to fucking, and I can't even get into the money end of it without it fucking, then I have to send John out to look up Google this, Google that. We're going to be here for days. I haven't got the fucking time. Look it up yourself. Cheap items on Amazon that cost more to ship in a reasonable time than they cost. Today there was a $15 item, $54 to get it in a week. What the fuck was the item? Uranium? Was there no Amazon Prime fuck shit? That's an investment. You might want to think of that. I don't know if you looked at the top, but they're always goosing you. They're trying to sell that Echo Dot fuck thing now, but check around, because for $79, I'm sure you could have gotten that $15 thing for at least $8. He's here. What was that item? What was that item? The $15 item. Somebody claims they were here. No, I guess he left.
Oh, that was me, Lou. I order, that wasn't me, but I order Verner's ginger ale that you can only get in Michigan. And I order it through Amazon. It's $22 for a case and $37 for delivery.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely true.
Fuck.
But I want to get it right away because I have Amazon Prime. I could get it for free, but then it could come next week.
I'm going to try to track it down in New York and sell it to you on the bus. If I know you're willing to pay top dollar for a Verner.
If anyone knows how to make a deal, it's you, Lou. You're the best.
Should I continue saving for retirement or spend my money now while it's still worth something? I'm certainly, when you're looking for financial advice, I'm really the fucker you want to see. Because I'm the only one who reads the business page. The only reason I even started reading the business end of the newspaper was because I thought, fuck, there's some really good jokes here. Dow Jones is at, what is it now, 2,300 or some shit? Unbelievable. Talk about fucking, and we're going to help the American people. Who the fuck do they think is making money on this? Who the fuck do you figure is making them? Of course you know who's making the money. It's a goddamn tote board. Or I'm really doing well for the economy? Yeah, you fucking are, for the people who already have fucking money. Maybe I hope 401ks are doing well. I really do. But it is unfucking-believable. $2,300. And if that is, it never is, but if it is considered a reflection of the state of our economy, then what the fuck is he whining about? I guess, why aren't they dancing in Appalachia, you fucking moron? I took an Uber here tonight. I told him I have poor night vision. And he said he did too. Is this normal? In Baltimore. That's when you do that duck and roll. You push that's when you literally leap from the car. You just push and roll out like that toward the... I took a walk this afternoon in a beautiful upscale neighborhood. Lovely homes and fancy apartment buildings, really lovely. I noticed that there were these bright-colored plastic bags randomly lying around or on the top of brick fences and thought, gee, what the heck are these? With closer inspection, I became aware that they were filled with post-digested dog food, better known as dog shit. What the fuck? You go as far as to pick up your canine's fecal matter, put it in a bright orange plastic bag, tied in a tidy knot on the top, Now dispose of it properly, you arrogant, self-involved to your phone fucking douchebag. Who do you think is coming to pick up your fancy purebred puppy shit package? In a matter of a block, there were about 5 little bags holding Fifi's business. Who does this? Pick your dog's shit up, for fuck's sake. I can come up with ideas of what to do with them, so I'm suggesting you keep the windows on your Porsche rolled up. Thank you. What do you think the chances are of going out somewhere that you don't see some fucking idiot taking a selfie? Holy fuck! It doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant trying to enjoy a meal or in the public bathroom trying to take a shit. You'll always find that one asshole who has to haul his phone out and take that famous fucking selfie. Jesus Christ, people. If you're that fucking struck on yourself, then carry a fucking mirror with you in your arse pocket, and when you need to feel important, just pull that little bastard out, and then you can say, boy, what a beautiful fucker I am. They even are taking fucking selfies at the funeral home. What the fuck is next? The delivery room as the baby's coming out? Fuck me with a wire brush, people, and grow some self-confidence. My favorite thing about that, the reason I read it, because he said the word arse. Who uses that anymore? That was fucking great. I'm going to leave you with this. This is one I've been holding for a while. And I really would like to thank, there's been a bunch of people writing in some really great rants, and we'll be getting to them. It gladdens my heart to see America get a few things off of its chest. A grilled cheese consists of only these following items: cheese, bread with spread, usually butter. This entire subreddit consists of melts. Now, the subreddit, there's Reddit, and then there's subreddit, which is just, I don't fucking understand it. I don't look at Reddit a lot, but then there's these threads. And so there's a thread, let's say, of melts. Almost every grilled cheese sandwich I see on here, on the thread, has other items added to it. The fact that this subreddit is called grilled cheese is nothing short of utter blasphemy. Let me start out by saying I have nothing against melts. I just hate their association with sandwiches that are not grilled cheeses. Adding cheese to your tuna sandwich, it's called a tuna melt. Totally different. Want to add bacon and some pretentious breadcrumbs with spinach? I don't know what the hell you'd call that, but it's not a grilled cheese. I would be more than willing to wager I've eaten more grilled cheeses in my 21 years than any of you had in your entire lives. I have one almost every day, and sometimes more than just one sandwich. Maybe we should I think we should take him down to the medical place and do an exam. One every day, what the fuck does that do to your body? Want to personalize your grilled cheese? Use a mix of different cheeses, or use sourdough or French bread. But if you want to add some pulled pork and take a picture of it, make your own subreddit entitled Melts, because that is not a fucking grilled cheese. I'm not a religious man, nor am I love this, anything close to a culinary expert. But as a bland, white, Midwestern male, I am honestly the most passionate person when it comes to grilled cheese. And mac and cheese. All of you foodies, stay the hell away from our grilled cheeses and stop associating your sandwich melts with them. Yet again, it is utter blasphemy, and it rocks me to the core of my pale being. Shit! I stopped looking after... I stopped looking after 3 years and made this account for the sole purpose of posting this. I've seen post after post of people's grilled cheeses all over Reddit, and it's been driving me insane. The moment I saw this subreddit this morning, I finally snapped. Hell, I may even start my own subreddit just because I know this one exists now. You goddamn heretics, respect the grilled cheese and stop changing it to whatever you like and love it for what it is. Or make your damn melt sandwich and call it for what it is. A melt. God bless you, Baltimore. Good to be home. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.